Hello, Internet friends. Sam Otero coming to you from my studio in beautiful Charlotte, North Carolina, with the premiere of our new endeavor, a show focusing on entrepreneurship and businesses here in the Queen City called The Brand. And today on our show, our first guest, a young lady who is passionate about helping others with their networking endeavors. We're going to hear from Dana Alferovic from Charlotte Networking Knowledge. Dana is the founder and CEO of Charlotte Networking Knowledge, and she has a mission to empower entrepreneurs and business owners that are at all stages of their development to push past self-imposed mindset barriers and limiting beliefs so that they can achieve their dreams. We're going to hear from Dana as to her journey in starting her own business focused on helping others develop their business. Without further ado, let's bring our first guest on to the premiere of The Brand, Dana Alferovic. Thanks so much for coming on today. You are brave. You're jumping right.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Oh, no, this is great. And I appreciate you being patient with me as we're getting everything all set up here. This new, I'm not a veteran, or I am a veteran to the podcasting world, but this is a new endeavor. And we're still working out the bugs and refining the look of the show. So we're so excited about this. We're excited about what you're doing. And, really, Dana, I couldn't think of a better way to start this endeavor than to bring somebody on that is focused on networking because, let's face it, even what I'm doing with podcasting and broadcasting of live events, what we're doing here is indeed a form of networking. So I'm really, really, really excited to share your story and your expertise here on The Brand. So tell us a little bit about Dana.
And, before I talk, I just want to say we have another guest as well. Hopefully she can come on. My kitty.
Let's see if she'll come.
Come on, girl.
Come on, baby.
Come on, girl. Hey.
Come on. There she is. Let's see. You can pick her up. There she is.
She doesn't like getting picked up, but I can try.
Let's see.
This is our COO. She's very fuzzy, and
she's off camera. Unfortunately, we can't see her. So there she is. Whoop.
I'll bring her back up.
There you go.
She doesn't like to get held, but hi, girl. You want to say hi? Come on, girl.
There she is. Oh, she's pretty. Tortoiseshell.
She is. Yes.
Oh, she's beautiful. Hey, we're gonna make you a star, kitty cat.
I'm gonna see if she'll let me pick her up. Oh, honey.
Oh,
wait.
You want to fix that camera again?
Yes.
You can see we don't want to chop off the top of your head. You want to put that back to where it was, please?
Yes.
Yep. There you go. And move slightly, if you would. You shift it in your chair. Move slightly to your right, please. So you're a little bit more center in the screen. Yeah, you're still not there. You moved. There you go. All right. So is she your helper in your business?
She is. She calls all the shots, actually. I'm just here for moral support.
Well, there you go. I get that. I have a 7-year-old cat myself and a wonderful little toy Pomeranian that just absolutely loves to pick on his big brother, and it's absolutely hilarious. Well, let's get down to business here. Let's talk about Charlotte Networking Knowledge. Start at the beginning, right? Tell us a little bit about you and what drove you to go this direction with your own career. Why are you so passionate about helping other people increase the effectiveness of their networking endeavors, and how do you do it?
Sure. So a little bit about my background. So I have moved around a lot as a young adult. I am from Southern California originally, and I went to school in Chicago, and I joined the real estate program there. And they really emphasized the importance of networking in order to get internships and job opportunities. So I started networking right away when I was 18. And because of that, that led me to great mentorship opportunities. I got really good job opportunities, as well as meeting supportive contacts, and also some great internship opportunities through just networking. And after I graduated college, I decided to move to Dallas, Texas, not Dallas, North Carolina, because some people get them confused. I didn't know there's a Dallas, North Carolina, but Dallas, Texas. And I didn't have a job. I didn't have a network or know anyone there. But I really wanted to move. And I had to put myself out there again to build these connections. And again, like, I just graduated college, so I didn't feel like I could offer anyone anything. I was new and young and didn't have job experience. So I was really self conscious, but I kept, putting myself out there. I really wanted a job, and I was able to find a job in about a month. And then I started an e-commerce company in back in 2023, which again was kind of a new direction for me, because I had built up contacts in commercial real estate, but now I had to build up contacts in business. So I had to, start networking all over again
Mhm.
to find new contacts. And then in April of this year, I actually moved to Charlotte, and I was in the same boat. I didn't have a job, and I didn't. Mama, stop it, honey. I didn't have any contacts here or any friends. So
Yeah, that's hard. I, I
it
I
is.
I did that too. That's one of the reasons actually why I'm taking advantage of this platform. I'm relatively new in Charlotte as well. My wife and I just moved here on a whim. We fell in love with the city, jumped into it, right? So I feel that it's tough anytime you move into a new city. And you were alone, right? You didn't have family or support here.
And also, I suffer from social anxiety, and I have imposter syndrome as well. So I think that makes it even harder to meet new people and connect. It's harder for me to make friends and really connect with people. I've always sometimes felt left out, like I haven't belong or fit in certain situations. But actually, when I moved here, my business wasn't, doing the best. Businesses have your ups and your downs. Mine was kind of at a down point. I didn't have a job, and I was just feeling lonely and kind of hopeless and depressed. But I was like, well, let me just get out of my house. So I was searching networking events, and I went to a networking event that same day. And it really helped me change my mindset. Even though it was only for a few hours, I wasn't thinking about the downside. I was thinking about, okay, wow, this is my business. People were really impressed with my business, starting a new business at such a young age, and just moving to Charlotte and already putting myself out there at these networking event situations. So, and I was also looking to create more of a community, because I was searching for other networking events, and I honestly got overwhelmed because there's so many different groups out there, and it was hard to create um, be consistent with all of them, especially with my schedule. I have a 9 to 5 job now, so it was really hard to figure out which ones were the best for me, and I really wanted to build upon those relationships. And the best way to do that is to be active and engaged in at least one networking group or two. So I decided to create my own group, because I was originally, I created a spreadsheet of all different networking groups, and like which events, like which day.
Man, it can be overwhelming too. I mean, I there's a lot of networking groups in Charlotte, and man, a lot of different styles of networking. Right? I mean, people are doing their own thing, and they're developing these unique groups with unique approaches to networking. How did you sort through all that and just get started?
So, do you mean with creating my own brand?
Well, I mean, you made mention that you started sorting through and creating your spreadsheet and decide, like, I mean, how many events were you going to where you finally realized that you had a passion to start your own, and why? When there are so many groups, effective groups that are out there in the Charlotte area.
So I started creating a spreadsheet, I think back in July, and I would kind of find the group, and then I would, a link to their website, or like, how do I find out about the next, updates? And then I would just kind of research and just from my experience, I would kind of, in my head, I'd be like, okay, I went to, X, Y, and G, networking group, and see if I would connected with them. But it's so hard to connect with people if these groups you're only attending them once a month, and also some of them are just an hour or 2 hours long, and also some of them it's hard to fit in my schedule. So I wanted to create a networking group where it would fit around my schedule, and also I decided to host some of my events on the weekend because just kind of looking from my spreadsheet, I also kind of looked at the competition. I don't mean that in a way that, like, we're all competing, we're all trying to take each other's business, but just from a realistic standpoint, if there's an established group that hosts on X day, I don't want to
Yeah.
conflict with their schedule.
Well,
So
yeah. I mean, there are
yeah.
finite resources, and
Mhm.
including our time, and it's difficult. It's difficult to make time to do these things, let alone when there are so many of these things and opportunities to get out there. I get that. I get that completely.
So that's why I started it, because I wanted to find a community that actually we can support each other, build each other up, and have those deep conversations about, we're circling in X area, and kind of have like a supportive mastermind group instead of just, exchanging a business card, just trying to really help each other. And it's really come to that. We really do help each other in my group. And also, I created like high value opportunities. And also, I just want to get out of my house more since I work from home. So I was like, well, why not, create my own, events, so I know exactly what I'm doing on X day. And also, I have more control. I can do fun, unique opportunities for my groups whenever I feel like it.
So, put this in context as far as the time frame. When did you actually launch Charlotte Networking Knowledge as a business endeavor?
So the first event I hosted was on September 6th, 2024, and I filed the LLC on September 26th, 2024.
Oh, wow. So you really are right out of the gate.
Yes, we're
That's
very new.
that's impressive, though. I mean, you're putting into practice what it is that you're hoping to teach other people, which I think is beautiful. I mean, you're getting a lot of traction here. Let's go ahead and go to your website and talk a little bit about what is motivating you and how you're doing what you're doing. I want you to make mention again about because all over your stuff that I'm seeing, and when you and I talked, you seem to have a real passion for wanting to not just help people with networking know-how and provide these events and opportunities for them, but help them overcome some of the personal hurdles that they may be have been carrying around their whole life. I think that's a very noble direction to go into here. I'm going to go ahead and pull up your site, and it says that Charlotte Networking Knowledge. Unlock the potential of your entrepreneurial spirit by leveraging the diverse perspectives and expertise found within your network. And this is going to allow you to innovate and adapt with confidence. Tell us about that.
Sure. So I really believe in surrounding yourself with like minded people, especially other entrepreneurs, because I think 30 minds are much better than, one mind. And I think we can all, we all have, something to offer, and, we all have our strengths, and also, our what we're not so good in. But I think kind of leveraging that community, we can become successful together. This is actually my the turnout from my first event ever. So these folks are
That's awesome. That is yeah. So I have to ask you. I'm sure other people are wondering too. How did you get so many people to turn out when you're new in the city and you're just starting out? That's impressive.
So I believe in a personalized approach to inviting people to my events. I do my best to personally text everyone in my network to invite them to my networking events. So for my first one, since I have been, I am still fairly new to the city, and April 2024, at all those networking events I did build my network here. So I reached out to everyone in my network, told them about my group, invited them. I also am a host of a meetup group here in Charlotte, and it's more of a social one. And I went to one of their events just as a social networking event, and I was telling the organizer that I hosted social meetups in Dallas. And then he said, would you like to be an organizer for our group? And I said, sure, why not? So I also, and I told him I was interested in creating networking events specifically for, those who are entrepreneurs, or those, looking to get started for entrepreneurs. And, he said that was okay. So I started, cross posting from that group. So I'm very grateful for that opportunity, because I believe they have 5,000, or I think 6,000 members on their meetup group. And that's their name is Food, Music, Fun, and Friends. So if you guys are looking for a social meetup, I definitely recommend joining their group.
And I see
And
you. Go ahead.
it's their group is for all age ranges.
That's fantastic. I see you have you've got a lot of things coming up here too. Let's pull this back up. Tell us about what you are excited about coming up soon.
Absolutely. So we have a bunch of events coming up. We're actually having a partnership event with Network Charlotte. They are another very large networking organization here in the Charlotte area. And that event is free. It's from 6 to 9 p.m. Wednesday, February 12th at the Hyatt in South Park. And this event is open to everyone, professionals as well as business owners of all, stages and ages. So if you're new to networking, I definitely recommend that. It's going to be a good mix of diverse individuals.
So makes what makes your event and your events, I should say, the content that you're generating to help people and educate people, what makes it unique? Why this is your opportunity to pitch yourself, right? What makes your brand that you're developing so special and unique that somebody should absolutely come on out there, meet you, and take part?
Absolutely. So since I just moved to Charlotte, and I had no friends and no, support network, and I still suffer from social anxiety and self-doubt, but I created my networking group with that in mind. So I understand how to navigate the current Charlotte networking scene, and also how to find, opportunities, and how to, effectively network in today's world, and also how to effectively network and build relationships in, the current Charlotte landscape. So I've translated, what I've learned to curate my events for people to like assist with them on how to, build their current relationships and expand their network. So also I curate my events in ways that help, those who may be new to networking, kind of have some icebreakers. So we host monthly networking game night where we
Oh, fun.
Yeah, you should
That's cool.
come.
Yeah.
Our next one is
I'm just,
January.
I'll be straight up honest with you. I'm
Yeah.
just now getting into all this. I mean, you know my story. I shared with
Mhm.
you personally that I had an illness that I had to deal with last year and really took the wind out of my sails. And I'm just now starting to develop my own brand here in Charlotte and get my name out there. And I'm looking forward to hitting some of these events. I appreciate the invite for sure. Tell us about game night.
Sure. So it's a monthly game night, and each month it's a different game. So our first event was speed networking card games. You had five different cards, like a picture business card, a funny one, thought provoking card, and you partnered up with one person and you guys had 5 minutes to talk about your cards and then kind of talk about your business. And then after 5 minutes, you switched cards and switched partners. We had business charades on December 6th, where you had a minute to act out your business,
Mm-hmm.
which was really funny. People were laughing. It was
I
a
would
lot
just
of
pull up my phone and show them. this,
yeah.
this is what I do.
Yeah, it was funny. And our next event on January 29th from 6:30 to 9 p.m. at Vaulted Oak Brewing is Business Pictionary. So you're going to be in a small group and you have a minute to draw out what your business is. And we're also giving away some free raffle prizes as well. And it's a free
I'm
event.
gonna pull up your. I see a bunch of stuff here. Guy, direct me a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up your website. I didn't see
Yes.
that event, but I see something on the
Um,
22nd.
check,
There's
check
a
out
lot here. Hold on. This
check
is
out
on
Eventbrite.
Facebook.
Um, I'd say check out Eventbrite.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I can.
Yeah, absolutely. I have it right here. There we go. All right. Go ahead and walk us through what you got coming up. And if there's any sort of special elements to this or special guest speakers or anything that is going to be a little different or out of the norm, again, give folks a reason to engage and come on out there and get them excited about it, right?
Yeah,
All right,
absolutely.
go ahead. You got it. Floor is yours.
Perfect. Okay. You can scroll down. So I'm just going to go from left to right, top to bottom. So, our first upcoming event, well, actually, this is going to be posted on Tuesday, January 23rd, or Tuesday, January 21st. So, the first three events have already happened by the time this is getting posted, but we actually do these recurring networking dinners and our, entrepreneurs and content creators collab meetups. So, I'll be posting future events of that. And then I'm also going to do future goal setting workshops as well for those looking for some support and accountability for their current goals, as well as setting, quarterly goals. And then our success social on January 22nd is a happy hour networking event where we're providing complimentary beer and wine. And it's just like a happy hour, fun meet and greet. And we're also going to celebrate the publishing of my first book, How to Effectively Network for Those Afraid to Put Themselves Out There. So I'm really excited to have a really good turnout for that one.
Now, I see you've got a lot of opportunities here for people,
Yes.
but they're not all free. I'm seeing, right? So there is
Yes.
some cost associated with some of them. Why might that be the case?
So some of these venues they have a rental fee. Some of
Mm,
them, it's a partnership, and also some of them, like my seminars and workshops, I'm providing materials as well. So there's a lot of hosting costs involved, marketing. And also some of them we do make them low cost, but also some of these free events we want a smaller crowd so I can offer personalized tailored advice. And some of my large free events are actually getting very big, so I do want to sometimes have a capacity limit so I can offer a personalized approach and make sure and I can deliver that high quality
yeah, that's
experience.
fantastic, and it's a little bit more. It's a little less daunting, I should say, for folks that may be, as you used to be, have some issues with getting out and meeting new people in large crowds, right?
Hmm.
You said something at the beginning. I'm curious, for those that may not be aware. You've said this a couple times. Imposter syndrome. Explain that in context of a networking event. And maybe somebody watching this is going to go, you know what? That's me. And I need to talk to Dana and get her ebooks and
Absolutely.
learn a little bit about how to overcome this. So tell us a little bit about that.
So, imposter syndrome basically means, you're taking your current situation and you don't think you deserve it, or you don't think you're good enough to be at this event. So, let's say you're going to a networking event and your goal is to meet a new client for your marketing business. Well, at this, maybe you want that, but maybe you feel like you don't deserve these clients. You don't think you're good enough or smart enough, even to be a business owner. Like, you don't think you deserve to own your business, and that no one is going to use your marketing services. So I think that's one of the reasons that a lot of people don't put themselves out there in these situations, because they feel no one worthy of success, and they might have accomplished so much, like owning your own business. Like, trust me, I know it's you're doing all the things, and especially like a solo entrepreneur, it's a lot to be proud of.
Yeah.
But I think some people don't recognize that, and they just think, oh, there's people, more successful than me. So, like, why should they choose me? I don't deserve to be here. Like, no one is gonna, want to talk to me or use my services. And that's really common. And, even people, very successful people, still have that, imposter syndrome.
And how do you overcome that? How'd you overcome it? Tell us a little bit about the educational aspect of Charlotte networking knowledge. And when somebody comes out and hears you talk and maybe doing a little bit of a workshop or buys your ebooks, you can direct me here to your site and I can pull some of those things up as well. Tell us how you overcame that in your life.
Absolutely. And I haven't overcome that completely, but I am really confident in networking situations now. But I'm going to be honest, like, I still suffer from imposter syndrome, like for the podcast. I'm like, well, who would want to listen to me, But I mean, I've applied on several podcasts. I mean, people do want to listen to me, and people
Sure.
want to feature me on their podcast. So I still suffer with from that, and different scenarios as I kind of build my professional career and grow. I can handle a networking event fine. Podcast, I'm growing and building my confidence in that way, and also with teaching seminars. But I think the number one way to kind of overcome your imposter syndrome is to reframe your mindset. And
Hmm.
the best way I recommend on doing this is having a neutral affirmation. So that's basically a neutral statement that you believe to be true with an affirmation part on top of it. So let's say you think you're unworthy of success, or like, what's the point of going to this networking event? No one's gonna use my marketing services.
Sure.
And but you can say that, so that validates and acknowledges your current situation. But also, the affirmation part is using a potential action that you can take, which will lead you to an outcome that is realistic and then will help you achieve your goals. So basically, say you're having imposter syndrome. You think, what, you're unworthy of success, but you want to attend a networking event. Well, why do you, it's important to have your why. Like, why do you think you want to attend your networking event?
Hmm.
Because you want to meet clients. So again, for that neutral affirmation, you have to have that statement, but also the affirmation part. So you can say, I feel like I'm unworthy of being here, but I think it could be a good opportunity for me to meet a client. And by saying that first part, it validates your current feelings because, I think sometimes, especially when you're having imposter syndrome, you can, positive affirmations don't work and they just make you feel bad for feeling bad. So, um,
Yeah,
again,
it's easy as adults even to get stuck in
yeah, definitely.
just get stuck in your feelings,
Yeah, and by using this neutral affirmation, you acknowledge and you don't try to change how you currently feel, but also you kind of get yourself to think about you know positively about a potential outcome of
Mm.
your future and how it will achieve your goals by taking a certain action. And if you think going to a networking event will um, help you potentially get a marketing client, you're going to be more likely to take that action. So, in order for it to work, the realistic outcome, it has to be, Mama, no, 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 honey, it has to be a statement that you actually believe to be true. So, I really recommend that. And and again, we want to validate how you feel. And a lot of people feel unworthy of success. They feel like they don't deserve to be at a networking event. And I can't tell anyone how to feel, and it's not helpful to say you deserve to be there, because you're probably not going to believe me, but I felt that way. But just try to think, I have every right to be there. I have just as much right as anyone else to be there.
Absolutely. Leverage the tools that you have at your disposal, right? I mean, we all look. We all got to get up in the morning and figure out a way to make a living, and doing it alone is really difficult. There's power in networks. There's power in friends. There's power in learning the communication arts, right? Because it is an art for sure,
It is
and
absolutely.
the more you do it, the better you're going to be at it, and then you see those little results and you take those stepping stones and you build that confidence. I've seen that word a lot in your literature and in your website. Confidence, building confidence, overcoming these hurdles so that your confidence builds up. What's one of the most magical tools that you've uncovered in your own personal journey that you really enjoy sharing with your folks in your Charlotte networking knowledge group?
So, do you mean a tool I use to build
Yes,
confidence?
ma'am.
So, I
Petty
like
kitty
to,
cat.
yes, oh, she's
That'll
so
do
nice.
it.
Yes. Actually, petting animals, is
Yeah, it
pretty,
is
is really
very therapeutic, right? I say that
I
kind of jokingly, but I have two as
oh, stop
well, and
it,
I
honey.
absolutely love them. So when you're going through a seminar, or you're doing a webinar, and you're teaching people, give us a key point that you like to share.
I'd say finding a grounding question,
Hmm.
because asking yourself a grounding question requires more mental energy than any kind of like affirmation. And by
Asking
asking,
yourself a grounding question.
yes.
Okay, well, give me an example. What would you say to me if I were suffering from a lack of confidence and the ability to get out there and network and talk to people? What would you say to me as far as advice?
Ask yourself this: How
Okay,
would your
let's do a little role play here. Go ahead.
yeah? How would your life change if you focused on growth instead of insecurities?
How would my life change if I focused on growth instead of insecurities? Well, I would think that we radiate energy as human
Mhm.
beings, and nobody wants to be around a sourpuss, right? So if you are radiating positivity and your belief system in terms of your future and where you're going is solid, even though there's uncertainty, you're dealing with the uncertainty uh, with a positive mindset. I think you're just naturally going to attract more people into your life that like you and learn to care about you, and ultimately they will end up supporting you, whether it's just a pat on the back great job, or becoming a customer, right?
Hmm. Absolutely, and that's a great answer. And I teach my members of my community that I recommend having like a grounding question that works for you and resonates with you. So if you, by asking yourself this question again, it takes you out of your head, all these negative insecurities, what ifs, and gets you to think about the positive. Outcome of your future. And again, I'm really about being real and acknowledging your current feelings, and not trying to have your confidence build over time. Like it's going to build over time, and you're not going to be super confident just by saying a positive affirmation once. So by asking yourself a grounding question that really resonates with you, when I ask myself this question: how would my life change if I focused on growth versus insecurities? It really gets me to think about what I want my life to look like, and by
Yeah, 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 yeah. Hmm. Yeah, I
doing
mean that was my first reaction was, let me imagine my life not weighed down by worry or
yeah,
insecurities, right?
mama, kitty cat.
Beautiful.
Oh,
Let's
mama, you want to say hi?
Oh, what's up, baby? She's a
Oh,
big
she's my
girl. What
friend.
kind of cat is that?
She's a domestic long hair. I think some people think she has maybe a little bit of Maine Coon in her.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. She's a, she's a beefy mama.
She is very furry. Yeah.
There you go. Real quick, before we wrap up, let's talk a little bit about your blog. We'll go back to your website. You've got several blog posts up here. You are super busy on social media, so I want you to give us a rundown as to where people can find you, what they can expect there, and talk about your ebooks, okay? All
Absolutely.
right, let's have at it. Here you go.
So, on my website, to be honest with y'all, it's hard for me. I have one assistant now, and I need to hire some more. So, to be honest, I'm not that active on my website as far as blogs, but I'm trying to, hire another assistant to help me with, posting my blogs. But I have posted some blogs, and this is a post I interviewed with a mortgage processor, and I posted that on my Instagram. And she actually said she was dealing with some like anxiety about her business, but she actually gave us a really good perspective. So I interview successful business owners, and we talk about real challenges and their real struggles, because a lot of it, I don't think that's talked about a lot. Self-doubt, imposter syndrome, especially from successful entrepreneurs. But I think it should be talked about more. And I do interview quite a few men as well, because I think men especially don't talk about that. And I want to let people know that it's common. Also, we can learn from these successful people who have gone through the same mistakes as we have. And there's billions of people out there. If you're going through something, millions of people have gone through the exact same thing as you. So you're not alone, and there's resources out there to help you.
Tell us about your book. I'm going to go ahead and pull this up. You've got several ebooks, yes?
Too, yes.
Okay, tell us about it. Why? Again, an opportunity here. Why should somebody invest in your vision, in your business, right? What is going to make this worthwhile purchase for them and endeavor?
Sure. So I'll talk about the first book I published, How to Network Effectively for Those Afraid to Put Themselves Out There. And first of all, it's only $4.99, so that's cheaper than a cup of coffee. So I think that's a pretty easy investment opportunity. It's not like it's very expensive. So and
That's
second of
that's
all,
that's it, well, you can't even get a good cup of coffee for that. right?
I know Starbucks is what, like $8 now?
It's ridiculous. I said good coffee, by the way.
Oh yeah. I don't really drink
Was that a
coffee.
slam? Was that a slam? Did you take it that way? Was that a slam at
Oh, well,
Starbucks?
I don't know. I mean, maybe viewers will
Go
think,
local. Go local. Buy
yeah,
local. I think that's what I was really trying to say here. So,
absolutely,
all
yeah.
right. So tell us a little bit more about this book.
So this book shares my personal experience with my journey through networking and dealing with social anxiety and still putting myself out there, and also it offers empathy and support, and kind of helps you understand like these networking fears and like why you have them and that it's very common. And then I teach strategies on preparing for a networking event, because by preparing that you will reduce that anxiety. And I also teach actionable advice on improving strategies on how to build your confidence to finally put yourself out there, and then how to implemently or immediately implement techniques to help you feel better and reduce your anxiety during and before networking events. And I also talk about handling setbacks and rejection situation, or handling rejections and setbacks in networking situations, because you're not going to connect with everyone, and there's going to be some people yeah, who might be rude to you, or not, who might even laugh at you or something. But I want to teach folks that that's normal, and there's still good people out there. And by going pushing through on your journey, you're gonna meet the right people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So this will be fun.
Yeah.
People get to know you. That's great. Give us a little soundbite. Let's do the quick elevator pitch, right? And I want you to give us your elevator pitch. I'm going to pull you up full screen.
Oh
Introduce
wow.
your folks as if they've never met you before, and why should they come to one of your events and or buy your book. You ready to go?
Okay.
Put you on the spot. Okay. And in 3, 2, go.
Hey guys, I'm Dana, and you should come to my in person networking events here in Charlotte, because they're fun and free, and they're, usually very unique. We do monthly game style events. I have, coffee co working meetups. We host networking dinners. We also host in various locations and have consistent networking opportunities. And most of our networking events are free, and they're typically longer than your average networking event. They're from, usually like 4 hours long. So you don't need to stress about getting there at a certain time, and they're, laid back and casual. And we get a good turnout as well. My past events in December and January, we've had over 35 attendees. So it's a very dynamic crowd as well. And our events are designed to be welcoming and supportive to those new to networking, those new to business, but insightful and engaging for those who are successful business owners. And our members range from those who own multiple successful businesses, those in their first few years, and those getting started. And our members are also very diverse in their industries. So you're going to meet a great diverse group of people. And because I stand my values, I really I vet everyone who comes. And I have no problem banning someone from my group if they don't adhere to my rules and my values. So I really take my group seriously. And I have no problem, kicking anyone out. And I also, personally will go up to you and talk to you if you're by yourself. I make it my mission to personally introduce myself to everyone who attends my networking events. And I'll do my best to introduce you to everyone else and get you plugged in and get you networking. And
Awesome.
then for my business, I know it's hard, like an elevator pitch. It's hard for me to talk about it in a few sentences. But so for my,
Now,
yeah,
you may or may not believe this about me, but I have that problem too.
yeah. No, I think yeah, you talked a lot about your business, but I mean you were passionate. We like you want to explain what you do, and it's hard to like explain what I do, and that was only one component of my business. I have my other component about and can I talk about my other component for my business?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. That's what you're here for. It's all about
Yeah.
you. Go ahead.
So my second component is where I specialize in helping entrepreneurs who maybe more on the introverted side, or those who struggle with social anxiety and self-doubt or imposter syndrome. I help them overcome those networking fears so they can create meaningful professional connections. And I do this through my journals, guides, and templates, and my ebooks. I've also going to launch a networking success blueprint program, but I've created the first part already. So I have a free upcoming webinar. It's for those new to networking and how to build confidence. And then I have a ticketed seminar for that. It's a follow-up session that goes into more advanced confidence building strategies, and also effective networking strategies on how to get you to connect and stay engaged and capture those busy professionals' attention, and keep them relevant and top of mind in your network. And then for that program, I'm also going to have a new to networking dinner that is going to be ticketed, but it's going to be an intimate dinner where we have some icebreaker games and really get to know one another. And everyone's in the same boat as you. Everyone's going to be new to networking besides me, and I'm hoping to have maybe a partner depending on how. If we have 16 people, I might have a partner come with me to oversee it and facilitate that. But
You're
everyone.
booking out pretty far in advance.
We are going to host a networking cruise in the spring.
A
So,
cruise?
uh-huh.
Oh, how fun. Where are you going to go?
Yes. Lake Wiley.
That's awesome. A day
Yeah.
on the lake. That's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Well, congratulations on your success. You are a charmer. You are an absolute joy to
Yeah.
speak with. I'm looking forward to coming out and taking advantage of your events. It would be fabulous. I'll give a little plug here for myself because for those of you that maybe don't know, I am. This is what I do for a living. I'm a primarily how I make my money is corporate live streaming. So you take a look at my website here, and I've live streamed and mixed iMag video for Wells Fargo. I've done events at the Mint Museum here in Charlotte, the Revelry, the Night Theater. Event production is my specialty, and I would love to talk with you if you have an event coming up and talk about how we can help you get your video out to the world and mix a professional live stream event. 3 cameras, all great gear, and I've been doing this for quite a while. I would love to help you out. And you can help me out and support this endeavor by going to my company, which is ateromedia.com, learning more about myself, my production work, and my other projects. Actually, I have several other podcasts and educational endeavors. I'm a retired teacher myself, so I would love to work with you at some of your events and broadcast these things to the world. That would be awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah, we talked about, future partnerships. So I'm really excited about, this opportunity and more opportunities to come. And yeah, how I got, to be on the podcast, I made a post on the Charlotte Business Owners Facebook group. And
Mm-hmm.
again, just by putting yourself out there, you'll get opportunities. So even if you
Absolutely.
think you're unworthy of, being on a podcast or, getting a job, just put yourself out there. It's a no if you don't ask. So just ask, put yourself out there.
There
You
you
never
go.
know what opportunities can come by showing a little courage.
Sound advice. Well, I think that's time to wrap it up. I can see by the bright sun on my left side here and coming across my microphone, it's coming down into my studio here. So I'm going to go ahead and kill the feed and encourage folks, please check out Dana. Dana, real quick, let's run through where they can reach you. You've got your website, Charlotte Networking, it's just networkingknowledgeandgrowth.com. Right?
Yes. Networkingknowledge.com was already taken.
Aha. Okay. What else have you here? Well, you've got an Eventbrite set up.
Yes, and also I have an exclusive offer to all listeners of the podcast. If you use code Charlotte Now 25, you get 25% off all of my resources on my website, including my ebooks and my journals, guides, and templates. And also that code is valid for my ticketed events for my networking workshops on my Eventbrite as well. And that offer is valid until February 15th at 11:59 p.m.
Well, that's very generous of you. Say that again. Charlotte Now
25.
Charlotte Now 25 is your promo code to receive 25% off of Dana's services and products. That's awesome. You want to check her out also. We got a pretty robust Facebook page here for your company. I see a lot of content going up there. You can be found on Instagram as well. Lots of great, some nice shorts, videos, fun posts. Yeah. We've got TikTok. My goodness. I haven't gone down that rabbit hole myself, but you sure have. You've got quite a bit of content up here. Looking forward to checking that out. Look at all this. My goodness, you've been busy.
Absolutely.
And then you got LinkedIn, of course, for the more professional crowd.
Make sure to give us a follow.
What's that?
Give us a follow.
There you go. Yeah, check her out. Dana Alfervic from Charlotte Networking Knowledge. I couldn't think of a better way to have kicked off this series. So I want to thank you for coming on, and looking forward to seeing you at one of your events sometimes very, very soon.
And thank you so much, Sam, again, for the opportunity. I'm really honored to be the first one to be featured on your podcast.
That's fabulous. Okay, hang out for 1 second. I want to go ahead and chat with you offline about something. All right, so there we have it. Our first interview on the brand, showing locally here on my other podcast channel, charlottenow.tv, brought to you by my company, my taromedia.com. Check out that endeavor and learn more about myself, my different services that I offer: podcast production, remote video production, live streaming production. Well, I want to thank our very special guest, Dana Alfervic from Charlotte Networking Knowledge, for sharing her knowledge, inspiring others to ramp up their networking game. I hope you learned a lot. I want to thank you so much, from my family to yours. Peace, love, God bless you all. I'm a Taro, and I'm out.